Don't be stinky, guys. It's not good. Chicks don't dig that. Whee! What's up, everybody? You might be asking yourself right now, hey Jason, why are you sitting in that Jeep all by yourself? Technically, you wouldn't be asking yourself that, you'd be asking me that. Hey Jason, it's Saturday morning. Why are you hanging out by yourself in your Jeep with your camera? That seems odd. Hey Jason, do you have any friends? Hey Jason, are you lonely? Hey Jason, what's with all the rubber? You know what I say, safety first. But the real reason I am here is because, oh, look at my feet. Whee! The real reason I'm here is because I had a few people ask me about my Jeep and my sleeping situation from one of the last videos whenever I was at Wilderness First Responder training. I slept in my Jeep for 9 days, and that was the master plan all along, for me to be able to sleep in this thing and have all my gear in it and be generally comfortable for sleeping in the back of a four-door Jeep. I had not planned on sleeping in my Jeep, but because of the rain and all that whatnot, thought that it would be easier for me, and it turned out awesome. So yeah, I want to show you a little bit about the build, kind of go through the details of what I have here and how it really works into my Jeep situation and makes it a little bit easier for me to travel and have some of my gear with me whenever I go. So here we go. So one of the first things I did was build this 7-inch deep, 2-bay built-in box in the back. So what that does is it raises me up enough to get some good space inside here to store stuff, but leaves me enough headroom in my Jeep to kind of have a good bit of space in here. So if you had the old boxy top to your Jeep, you'd have a ton of room in here. I got the fastback, so it cuts out a little bit of the headroom, but honestly, it works out for me because whenever I sleep with my head down here, I get to look up at the stars out of my fastback, and that rocks. Inside here, I have most of my climbing gear, frisbees, things like that. So kind of the quick go-to stuff I can just grab from the back. This also has the secondary compartment to it. My Kelty Noah's tarp, Arc'teryx rain pants, Fox Outfitters hammock, Marmot go-to small day pack, Thermarest sleeping pad. I don't leave this stuff in here all the time. I just throw it in here whenever I'm going camping, but you know, it's usually right inside my door, and you can see how accessible this is. So I pretty much just, you know, getting ready to head out of town, toss this stuff in here, and I'm good to go. So phase 2 of this build was to build these built-in. So I took the seats out completely, measured out all the factory hardware, where the bolts were going to be and all that stuff, and then built these boxes based on where those bolt locations are, so that these are actually bolted down. They're not going anywhere. Honestly, I'm not going to have anybody in the back seats anyways. I've had one instance in 2 years where I realized, oh man, I don't have my back seats and nobody can go back there. So what I have is essentially a big hinged box here. And when you look inside, I have my GoPro camera, some Solomon shoes, got my Rumble in the Concrete Jungle hat from the U.S. National Whitewater Center. Sweet race that they have out there every year, and they actually, in the middle of the winter, when the pools are drained, they actually run a race down the middle of the channel. It's pretty dope. Old Marmot rain gear, got a jacket in there, some master locks. That's how I lock this whole thing up. Under here, there's actually some dead space that I used for storage as well. So essentials, got the Wilson football, REI Flex Like chair, Kelty sleeping bag, Seat to Summit, Arrows pillow. This thing is a lifesaver. I take this thing with me everywhere. These inflatable pillows, and especially this Seat to Summit one, super comfortable, easy to inflate, deflate, super compact. Have that with me all the time. For those of you thinking about building something like this, took some measures of the base where the flats were going to be. Pretty much just ripped some 2x2s for my edge supports, plywood for the sides, some thicker plywood for the top. So this is birch plywood. It's closer to actual 3/4 inch. Wanted to make sure that the tops were super sturdy for me sleeping on it. I didn't want them to bow in or do any of that stuff. A couple of small zinc hinges here, stoppers for when it drops down. I don't have wood rubbing. Combined with the space in between, you know, just this box alone probably has 4 or 5 cubic feet of space in it for me to have for storage. I usually just hook it up to the top with my handy dandy bungee cords and we're good to go. Other side. This bay is a little bit smaller since the other one actually goes over the axle well. Same deal over here. You can see I just threw my go bag in here, so got my towel, Divine LED lantern, always good to have with some backup batteries. Sunscreen, probably killing my skin while it's saving it, who knows. This thing, this is the North Face bomb-proof, I can't remember what they call this, I'll find it and put it in the links, but essentially this thing's completely waterproof, great seals in it, and I typically keep a couple changes of clothes in here, socks, undies, toothbrush, little tiny dop kit. My mama made this for me. So just the essentials in there, little buck knife, anything I need to have just in case I want to just kind of jam. Again, some more storage back here. Usually if I see some wood on the side of the road, I got my tarp here, throw it in the back, throw whatever wood in here, bring it home, take it with me, whatever. And my REI quarter dome 2. This thing's awesome because it's a 2-person tent, but it actually it weighs about as much as a 1-person tent. You get all that extra room to store your gear in. Definitely check out quarter dome 2 REI. Bing. I cover these with a pretty thick channeled rubber. This kind of worked out in some pros and cons. So pros are, I made sure that I sealed these seams in between so that if I did get any water in here, the channels are actually running backwards, hit the gas, run any water off, and for the most part I can keep the water outside of these boxes. The con to this was it did take about a month and a half for this place to air out, and anytime it got hot in here, it just smelled like a tire factory. So probably baked some brain cells in the process, but honestly now really glad to have them. You know, if I find some firewood or just throw something in the back here, I'm not worried about this stuff getting dinged up. The other nice thing about it is it doesn't look like from the outside that there's much in my Jeep. Like I say, I don't usually have stuff in here from just around town, but if I'm out traveling, camping and whatnot, and I do have stuff stored in here, if somebody wanted to glance in from the outside, they can't really tell with the tinted windows what's going on in here. It just kind of looks like a raised floor. So I do have some locks that I strap along this whole thing and a cable lock that keeps everybody out of this stuff, but for the most part, like I say, I don't leave stuff in here. I don't like a chance fate like that. Some of the other stuff I have in here, Best Stop makes these Jeep bags, bug spray, can koozies, 24 hours of booty. Got some food in there, more deodorant. Don't be stinky, guys, it's not good. Chicks don't dig that. Poncho, shades, repair kit, key for sleeping pads, tents, all that fun stuff. Lantern, mantles, America the Beautiful National Parks Pass, which is set to expire this month. Need to re-up. So there you have, for the low price of probably about 125 bucks worth of materials and 10 to 15 hours worth of work. You got getting all the lumber, going on the shopping trips, hitting up the Home Depot a couple of different times for different things, actually putting the stuff together, painting, putting it all in, taking the Jeep seats out. So a lot of work goes into this, so probably 10 to 20 hours total. Oh, I forgot to show you got my hiking books, my National Geographic maps hanging on the back here. Got the Skeeter beater. This stuff is the best. Totally all natural, no DEET. I swear by this stuff. They're not paying me. This stuff's the best. There you go. I'm gonna put a lot of this stuff into use whenever I build out my new van. You know, it's just wood, screws, hinges, not too tough if you got the right tools to do it. So, good luck. You are still here, and that is awesome. I must be doing something right. So do me a solid and hit that subscribe button down there. Wait, hit that subscribe button. Oh man. All right, hit one of the subscribe buttons on your screen, and do me a favor and go over to the nomadexperiment.com. I take a lot of photography when I do these shots, and I also do a lot of writing over there, so a little bit of this, a little bit of that, go check it out. I definitely appreciate you being there to watch this stuff, and I will see you on the next one.